Yeah, man, it's May the 5th, 2023, and I'm going to talk about a few things that are going on because I feel like I need to talk about it. I feel like they force me to do these type of videos, and I'm going to talk about the circumstances, okay? So they're constantly, like, for days and days and days, like almost 100% of the time, either attacking or on, like, touching me on my genital area with broadcasts while they're on mind control, controlling these broadcasts, living as these broadcasts, which I've explained so many times. Especially, like, if you didn't see the video I put out yesterday, which is part of the problem right now. They've been doing it, okay? And that's what inspired me to do the video yesterday. But it's a good video, I think. And I think other people do too. It's got a bunch of views already and a bunch of likes and all that kind of stuff. And people seem to like the video. And it's about a 30-minute video about Hollywood films and just kind of some of the similarities about broadcasts and how those films are probable to be broadcast inspired, like inspired by neural monitoring and broadcast capabilities. So, and I wanted to explain all of that on that video and then on many videos because I want people to understand how this really works and like what these gang stalkers are really doing and all of that. So it's pretty important to understand like how they get on mind control and like wear this thing on their head and they're able to live as these broadcasts because they're able to have the experience of being that broadcast. And with that, they won't stay off my genitals. All right, now I'm talking about men, grown men. Now, again, I feel like I'm forced to talk about things more in depth. So let me clarify, okay? And I'm not saying that these guys are doing it, okay? But there's a few guys that are said to be the leaders of this neural monitoring, basically terrorist organization. And that would be Robert Lackey, Stockbridge, Georgia, Tony Bruce of Atlanta, Georgia, and Black James. They call him Black James. If I knew his last name, I'd be saying it right now. And he's, I guess, from Atlanta, Georgia. Last I knew of, back in like 2014, he lived in the West End. All right, so I think that's pretty well Atlanta. So these three guys are like some of the leaders of this organization, and they have some control over what happens over what these other guys are able to do. Just like Black James told me in 2016 when he passed it off to these guys as the main guys. He was the main guy, him, and he had a couple girls on with him. They used to call him Kimmy and Emily or Emmy, okay? But Kimberly and Emily, basically, and Black James. Those were the three people that were like full-time, 2015 and 16, and then they passed it off to this guy, Marcus, and then it became this thing with like him and three or four other guys. And James told me then, he said, I hope you're ready because these MFs are relentless. And since then, it's been 100% every single day, it's been torture. Like physically penetrating my body or molesting my genitals. And that's what it is. It's sexual molestation. So it's like gay sexual molestation. And I don't even know where that little noise came from. It might have been in my headphones. So that's what it is. It's gay sexual molestation. And they're able to have the experience while they're living as a broadcast and they go crawl around on your genitals. That's a sexual assault. They're molesting people. So, and they could do it to girls if they wanted to. They could do it. And how many people out there are victims of broadcast sexual assault? Me, I'm a victim of broadcast sexual assault. And over time, like as this goes on and on for however long it takes, more and more people are going to come out and say, yeah, this is for real. And it's going to all come out that, yeah, this is all for real. And these guys are going to be looking like some kind of gay rapist because they've been molesting people's genitals for decades. And that's really, really what's going on. And so I put out the video yesterday and it's I'm not going to say it's like a viral video or something because it's not, but the statistics on it are a little better than average for my channel. Okay, and they don't like it, and they don't like that I'm explaining things in a way that people can understand. Like, oh, that's how it works. And then, I always get a bunch of comments, and people are like, you explain this the best, and the same thing is happening to me, and I'm glad I found your channel. And those comments are daily, every day, especially on the better videos. But so when I put out a video like that, a strong video, they try to do everything to make me come on out with the next video, because the most recent video is going to be the one that gets the most plays. It's going to be the one that people come to my channel and they watch the most recent video. If you follow my channel like that, and it's the one that the notification is the most recent for. If you got a whatever kind of notification you got, it's the most recent one that's shared to at least probably 40 or 50 places online. And so they don't like that video. And when I have a video like that, that's above average statistically, and that I explain things very well, they don't like that. So they want to bury it. So they start with like massive torture campaigns. Not that they weren't already doing it on a daily basis, on an hourly and minutely basis. I feel like I'm getting stung all the time by little bees and stuff, and it's nothing. It's nothing. It's them. They're doing it. They can burn you and sting you and just penetrate your body. And it's like they're all in my mouth while I'm sleeping, and they get in my eyes while I'm just chilling all the time. They attack my heart. They've been really doing a number on my left knee over the past week. And then the genital thing. And the guy says a little while ago, he's like, I don't care what you do. I'm going to keep doing it no matter what. Right? And so he's trying to deter me from continuing to talk about it publicly. But here I am, publicly talking about it again. And like I said, the guys that I mentioned, Black James, Tony Bruce, Robert Lackey, these are 100% gang stalkers that have neural monitoring and use it for malicious purposes. I swear to God, I'll stand by it for the rest of my life. Like I said, I'm not saying that they're the gang stalkers that are on mind control using broadcast to molest my genitals. But what I am saying is they have some say over these idiots that are on my channel. They say Robert Lackey's their leader. Okay, that James told me himself when he put them on here. Okay, and James is very close. So is Tony Bruce. They're very close with the girl that I believe has possession and ultimate control over my neural monitoring. So they have kind of like a sub-sectors, like Tony Bruce and his people. They're able to do my neural monitoring stuff and do live streams. And he's been caught red-handed manipulating my Facebook and using some of my accounts like that to do these live streams. And it's criminal. There's laws that are being broken right there. And they do everything they can to try to suppress it and brick devices and delete files and try to block me out of all kinds of stuff. And I've been to the police. I've been to the FBI. I've been to all the agencies, the government agencies that are supposed to help with things like this. And, nothing. I didn't get a response. I filed at least 25 police reports. A lot of them mentioning these people. And not even the first response, because they don't want to open the can of worms and talking about neural monitoring. And if you go after these guys for infiltrating all my devices and doing some kind of account fraud where they're running these live streams, and why are they doing that? They're doing it because it's remote neural monitoring, EMF broadcast live streams. They're doing a show about your life, and you follow the money trail where they may make a little bit off of that. They're not getting gift cards, and there's not some program. Okay, these are just people that I didn't even know all of them. I knew some of them, and they just happened to be in that circle, in that group. And so they gained access to my neural monitoring and on different levels. And so, a lot of them are able to do those live streams. James has some control over the situation because he's very close with the girl that has my neural monitoring. So he's somewhat of a shot caller. And Tony Bruce is close to her, so he's able to run like a whole organization of him and his people to do neural monitoring, EMF broadcast, live streams. I believe she gave him neural monitoring, like all the way back in like 13 or 14. And he became a gang stalker, of course, and people that are involved in a lot of criminal activities, like low life, shady shit, it's great for them to have neural monitoring. They can know when the police are coming. That they can know all kinds of stuff. They can know who's plotting against them. And these people are involved with shady stuff. Okay. And James is like a shot caller, and Robert Lackey, that, like I said, they say he's the leader of this group. Now, how much truth is there to that? Don't know, but I've had some altercations with him online, basically, or on my phone, where him and his little brother have talked about neural monitoring and having my neural monitoring, and pretending that they protected me for so long before I was targeted, which may or may not be true. I don't know. Okay, but these guys all say that Robert Lackey's their leader. I know he has neural monitoring, and if you listen back to some of the stuff that I've posted about it, his own messages to me and stuff like that, and his brother's own messages to me, where they pretty well admit it. They absolutely, in exact words, admit it in some cases. And in some cases, they kind of hint around to, oh, well, we're going to have to get you back in line. And, we've been protecting you for this and that and blah, 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 whatever. So, and when they do that, I post it. So they quit doing that. But maybe it'll happen again one day. I don't know. But I can verify that they are part of gang stalking and neural monitoring. And then if all these guys say that he's the leader of this group, then I have to take that as a serious consideration, because I know that he has involvement with neural monitoring and is a gang stalker. Okay. So, not to mention he was more involved with my scenario with James and Marcus and these gang stalker guys back in like 15 and 14 and 16 and those early years when it first started happening. And let me touch on this too. Somebody was saying about the phases. Okay. And in 2013, when this started, I consider that phase one. All right. And I had no idea what gang stalking was. And I had no idea what artificial telepathy or remote neural monitoring was. Never heard of any of them. Okay. But all of my devices became hacked, and I was aware of that. And that, I believe, is phase one. Somebody else is saying that street theater is phase one. But for me, yeah, I would agree with that on some levels, but I would say that the hacked devices are like phase one. Then I would say phase two, or you could say phase one of actually having things happen, altercations with people, is the street theater. And that's what was happening to me in 14 and 15 and even in 16. And then randomly over the years, more times where street theater stuff would occur. And that's anything from trying to run you off the road, attempted murder, to stopping in front of you, blocking the road and letting out huge smoke bombs, or just following you around with 10 cars. They crashed me, following me and running me off the road. Back in like 2015 or 16, I literally crashed into a telephone pole. And they came by and shot at me, and I ended up barricaded in a gas station freezer waiting for the police to come after I ran through about 6 people's yards and jumping fences. And when it ran into a gas station, ran into their freezer and stacked up, cases of beers and stuff like that all the way to the ceiling in front of the door. And I said, call the police, call them. Yes, please call the police. So I did that. And that's just one of the crazy instances. And that's when they were all chasing me, ran me off the road, and I crashed. And other times they've been chasing me and try to run me off the road as well. But that's street theater. That's attempted murder. It come by and looking back, at the time, when I said they shot at me, okay, when they shot at me after I crashed into the telephone pole, trying to avoid them while they're chasing me around in like 6 cars. Okay. And then the street theater, when they put you on public. All right. So after I crash and they come by and one of them opens the door and he goes, pew, 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 right. And he shot at me several times. Looking back, I might perceive it a little different. At the time, I'm paranoid. I'm scared. I think, okay, they got a silencer on this gun because it didn't pow, pow. It wasn't like that. It was like pew, 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 pew. But looking back, I almost think maybe it was an airsoft and they were just trying to, or some kind of CO2 gun, and they were just trying to scare me. at the time, I thought they were shooting at me with a real gun, with a silencer, and, crazy things happen at that point. So, um, but that's street theater. Street theater, they could be following you around. One time I was downtown Atlanta, where I'm from, and I was in the main what they call 5 Points train station. It's the main center train station downtown. It's kind of underground, and it's where the east and west and north and south lines all intersect. So it's like the busiest, biggest train station for the transit system, and it's kind of underground. And I'm walking around down there, right? And if you follow me for long, like I used to make music and stuff more. I want to get back into it, and I feel like I got some skills, but I used to make music, and so just haven't lately. But I was walking around with some of my stuff unreleased that I've never released to anybody, and people would walk by with my song playing on their phone and stuff like that. That's street theater. That's how minimal street theater could be. All right, somebody walks by playing my song that I made when I never put it out publicly. And that's how minimal street theater could be, or just people following you around. But it could be as advanced as trying to run you off the road to kill you, and literally. And that's happened many times where they've tried to run me off the road many times. I start driving like big trucks and stuff. Like, go ahead and try me, because I'll run right over you. I do not care anymore. My life, I feel like this. My life is more important than some gang stalker trying to bother me. All right, so if somebody tries to kill me and they end up getting killed, I don't feel bad. I won't feel bad at all. Not even a little bit. I'll be like, they got what they deserve. Ha, ha, ha. That's how I feel about it. So anyway, here I am public talking about genital broadcast torture molestation. And they're going to do a lot of other stuff to me. All right, and when they shock me and sting me all over the place, and it hurts, and it bothers me. And I don't want to say fear. I'm concerned for the future and my long-term health over these things that they're doing. I'm concerned for my vision. I'm concerned for, that I'm going to have to get all false teeth, because every day they're just all in my mouth and it's burning and tasting like electricity. And I get very concerned about my heart area and the arteries around it, because I can tell when they're attacking my heart area with broadcast. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people that say it. And I could say with clarity, I know that's what they're doing. All right. I'm concerned about being immobile in the future, because they continuously attack my feet and knees. All right. But all of that, still, as bad as it is, and I feel like it's an attempt on my life, and every man has a right to defend their life by any means necessary. It's a different story when you start molesting a man's genitals. Especially, okay, not that it's any better, but especially when you're men. All right, so I had to feel like I'm being gay raped or something like that, or gay molested by these men using broadcast. And so they, like I said, though, they don't like the video I put out yesterday, so they want to bury it with this video. So we're going to bury it with this video. And then hopefully it's going to be a successful video as well. And if I got to make 2 or 3 videos a day about these gang stalkers molesting my genitals, and say everybody's names and talk about some of the crazy stories and attempted murders and violent torture, that's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. And, I'm pretty confident that at this point, nobody wants to open up any cans of worms and any kind of, litigation, because, there's a lot of things that have happened. And if I go in and say, oh yeah, they're talking to me with broadcast artificial telepathy, okay, we're gonna put you in the crazy house. All right. No, they're attacking my genitals. Crazy house. All right. But that's not the case with me. That's not the case with me. I can add up like 100 things that are real solid evidence over the course of, 10 years. And when you can do that, it gets pretty risky for them to say, okay, yeah, we're just going to discount you as a crazy person. They don't even want to deal with you at that point, because you can open up things that they can't have open. Not in the judicial system, not in the public eye, not for the masses in society to know about. They cannot open up that kind of stuff, right? So if I file 25 police reports and a bunch of reports with the FBI, CIA, Homeland Security, GBI, every other State Department you could think of. All right, that one too. And they ignored me every time for many years. And then something happens, like there's so much liability. There's so much liability. And what I sit back like this, just doing my thing. Let me continue to take these college courses and get this degree, and let me continue to work on elevating myself as a career or job or businessman. Okay, entrepreneur, businessman, career man, all of it. I'm doing all of it. Okay, at the same time, and the outlook is starting to look pretty bright. Okay, if somebody don't kill me or something like that. So I would never hang around some sort of low life individual person again in my life. I don't care. Cut them off just like that. That there's not a single low life trashy person that I would associate with. Okay, there's very minimal people that I associate with, and the people that I do associate with, I can trust them, and I know that they're not gang stalkers. And there's people that I talk to now and then that I believe will probably help me in this situation. There's also a lot of people that would like to see me destroyed, and I'm not going to help them do that. I'm not going to help them by destroying my own life. I'm only going one direction. Okay, one direction. And so when I got enough money and enough knowledge and I've organized all of this evidence together enough, then I'm going to file a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, if not $100 million, and possibly drag everybody into it with class actions and go against Googles and Apples and everybody else. I want my neural monitoring, and I want these gay genital molesters to go away. All right. And they can't go away without being accountable. And by being accountable, they owe a lot. They owe a lot. And if their freedom is one of the things that they owe, even if it has to result down to saying, okay, we'll charge them with a whole bunch of internet crimes, and because I really have to kind of take what I can get, but it's real horrible what they do to me, and I know they're doing it to a million other people. It's just, my videos are out there though. My video, all the stuff I've been talking about for all these years, it's available. It's available for you to go and watch, and a lot of it is me talking about the stupid things that they're doing to me. But a lot of it is talking about how this stuff works and what's really going on. And it's legit. It's legit. I'm not making this stuff up. You don't hear me talking about, some exotic way to block it and magneto helmets and Morgellons diseases and stuff that it ain't. It ain't none of that. It ain't none of that going to work. So you don't hear me talking about that kind of stuff. You hear me talking about what's really going on. I don't think there's any way to block it other than getting your neural monitoring. Maybe perhaps there's some way. I'm obviously not going to live in some bunker, Faraday bunker or something like that. I'm going to live my life. And, I stand by death penalty for broadcast torture. All right. Will we ever see it? Probably not. Probably not. They'll probably say, okay, these guys have been gang stalking and hurting people with broadcasts, and we're not going to say that though. So we're going to say that they're doing account fraud and probably hit them with all kinds of stuff to do with like internet crimes and like fraud crimes and stuff like that, and maybe give them 10 years to keep some people happy, to keep some people quiet or something like that. That's kind of more like what I expect to happen, but they sit around and make money off molesting genitals, right? They got live streams where they put out live streams all day, every day, all the time. And they've been doing it for a decade at least. So you figure several, if they could take several sections of their broadcast and condense that into maybe 3 or 4 live streams a day, right? And you look at how long have they been doing this? Well, probably over 3,000 days. If you got 5 or 10 live streams every day, right? You're looking at 15,000, 30,000 live streams out there. That's like, if you collect a penny a day off each one, you're getting plenty of money, right? And they're probably not collected that much, but the sheer uh, magnitude of the amount of gang stalking that they've done, and the amount of data that they can use, and the amount of people's devices that they can get on, and they probably do like crypto mining and uh, advertising stuff, and collecting money off of live streams, stuff like, who knows if they got membership levels and all kinds of things, that they have a huge amount of content for gang stalking people. And with that, they can make money. That's how they make money, right? That's how anybody who's a content creator, was basically, they're content creators, but they're terrorist content creators. They're terrorist gang stalking content creators. And they're doing it unlawfully, unconsensually, because the content revolves around targeted people that don't have their neural monitoring, while the people that do have it sit back and capitalize off of our misfortune of not having it. Because I'll call it misfortune, because somebody gave them neural monitoring. Most of them, they didn't become master hackers and find themselves as a multi-millionaire with all kinds of computer knowledge and knowledge of the world and knowing important people. No, none of that. Just somebody gave it to them. Some other trashy idiot gave it to them, and then they were like, "Hey," right? So that's what kind of people you're dealing with. Is why they end up out here doing torture and doing live streams and being obsessed and addicted to mind control like little crackheads. That's really how it is. That's really how gang stalkers operate. All right. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up, but here I am again publicly. We'll do this as much as we have to, talking about gay molestation, genital torture with broadcast, while these gang stalkers are on mind control, having the experience of living as that broadcast. So in their mind, they have experienced molesting my genitals. 100%. They have experienced that, and they seem to love it. All right. So I'll do this as much as I have to, because it's where the hard heads meet. They say, "Oh, well, I'll do as much as I want to, so you might as well not even try." But you know what? I'll blow up the internet. This has been my thing. I'll blow up the internet, and it'll be on 50 other places where people on all kinds of different platforms can find videos and articles, and I'll create websites and put this on 6 channels and everything. Okay, I will blow up the internet with gang stalkers or genital gay molesters. That's what we'll do. All right, so let the hard heads meet, and let's see if they stop doing it, or if I have to continue to blow it up and talk about these people and the horrible things that they're doing. Thanks for watching.